Well, hello all you deplorable people. I still can't get over her saying that. Thank God we're not really deplorable. Because if we listen to Hillary Clinton, we're deplorable. Ain't got very much longer. We're going to have a good man in the White House. From what I understand, on the 20th is the inauguration, and I'm going to be watching it. So, anyway, I won't say no more about that. Probably piss somebody off. Don't really care. Don't want them kind of people watching me anyway. They might take what I'm saying wrong. Anyway, I'm getting ready to start my day. Of course, when I start my day, you guys have already about halfway done your day. Thought I'd bring some cereal boxes out here and cut them up and use the big panels for making gaskets and stuff like that. And I'll show you how we do that and a few other things. Let me get rid of these noisy ass keys on my side. Normally I just take the big old cereal boxes and I'll cut them up. Don't need the sides, so I'll just cut all the way through it. And then we'll go around and trim the sides here a little bit. These make really good gaskets when you're in a pinch. Some things you really don't want to use this kind of gasket with, although I have, but they're not the greatest thing in the world for carburetors. I got something in my throat today. Alright, there's one panel. We just put our shape on there, and basically I wanted to use it for the drum lathe that we're working on to make a gasket for it. Yes, I got it apart, and I'm going to show you that here in just a few seconds, or a few minutes. We'll get these cut up first, and we'll chat a little bit while I'm doing this. I had started working on the original problem that was on my truck that brought on all this other stuff that I had to do. Ended up rebuilding the whole rear end, and now we're finally to the original problem, which was the parking brake cable breaking. And I think they gave me the wrong cable for the driver's side. We're not going to know until the end, but I'm suspecting that they gave me the wrong one. Kind of sucks that they gave me the wrong one, but ain't a whole lot I can do about that except for deal with it and go on about it and figure out a way to fix the problem. And I've got a cable that's too short simply because we can't find the right size cable. Um, I had two choices. I can either take this cable back that I've got and exchange it for a longer one, and I still may not, or I still may be doing that, I don't know. But then it got me to thinking, well, that would make a good reason for me to make something else. So I started working on a adapter to adapt a short cord or cable to a place where a long cable should go. And if it works, then I'll just deal with the cable I got and I won't have to do anything else. And and that way, the next time, if I go to put another cable on it, all I have to do is just order a longer cable and be done with it. But to save me some money now, we'll just do it the way I'm thinking about doing it. Alright, now we've got our gasket material. Got enough to do a lot of stuff here. I'll lay it up out of the way. Alright, now for the bracket that I was making, I had started off thinking about making basically this thing right here, which extends two cables together. You just put your round end on it and then pull it back. And same thing with the other side where they two butt together. Well, I needed 8 inches. I don't know how in the world, because I ordered this cable and it was only 2 inches too short. Well, for some reason it's 8 inches too short now. So I never moved the frame bracket. I never touched anything. I just put the new parking brake cables in, and like I said, for some reason it's 8 inches instead of 2 inches. So somewhere I've gained 6 inches. I don't understand that, unless I'm missing something. But anyway, I thought about, I made these pieces right here, which are a, I'll show you here, on the old cable here. What that does is you put this cable in there and you slide it in and it holds it. Well, if I can hold on to it. So this side here is the same size as the cable, and this side here is the size of the ear. And it won't come out. And I made 2 of those. And I was going to try to use aluminum because aluminum's lighter and I didn't want a lot of weight hanging on my cable. And then I was going to try to mount it in there. Like, I can't hold on to nothing right now. I was going to make that so that it would fit in here at the determined length that I needed, and just basically extend the cable. So that way all I had to do was just slide this in there and we had it. The problem with this is it's just really thin, and to be able to hold this to this was going to be a little difficult. It's doable, but difficult. So I scrapped that idea. Then I went to this idea. I found a piece of steel frame. I don't know what it was for. Probably, I can't even begin to think what it was for. I can find the other end of it. Basically, it was this piece right here, and it just happened to have about 9 inches worth of nice straight pieces that weren't cut up. Well, I decided to do this on the one end so that it slides in that way and then comes in, and then on this end it has to go in this way, and just like the original. Well, I measured it, and I put it in. It was exactly 8 inches from here to the other one, and this is exactly 8 inches. Well, I get it in there, and I realized that the parking brake lever was pushed about a quarter of the way down, so it threw my measurement off. So I'm back to the drawing board. Well, that led me to being able to shorten it. So to shorten it, I'll bring you down here a little closer so you can see really good what I was doing. To shorten it, what I did was take this cable, put it in, and because my parking brake lever was in the wrong location, this should have been the right way. But because it was in the wrong location, I thought, well, okay, I'll compensate for that, and I'll make this piece right here. So it's got 2 screw holes on each side. I just threaded it all the way through, 1/4 20. It's got a groove in it, and it's got a round slot on it to fit up in here. And then you just take your screws and tighten it down. And basically what that was for was to take this and shorten it. So once we got it there, we take this and put it in place, and we put our screws in it. Well, I put it in, and my pedal was really soft, no tension to it. It just went straight down the floor with little to no effort at all to get it to go down. So, and that was all the way to the floor. So that told me that something's out of adjustment. So now that led me to, okay, why can't I make this so that it can go in different locations, or even make it adjustable? Of course, making it adjustable would probably be a little harder than if I was to just take and just keep sliding this up every 1/4 inch and just drill me a separate set of holes all the way up through here. And that way, about halfway, I don't need it all the way, about halfway just have a series of holes going across here. And that way, let's say I need to go another 1/4 inch, well, I can go another 1/4 inch, and another 1/4 inch, and another 1/4 inch, and another 1/4 inch, and so on. I think that would be the better idea. But we're working on it, and hopefully this will work pretty decent. And then you just take and put your 1/4 20 screws in, and they do not meet each other because of the thickness of this. Now if I was to put them in here just like that, yeah, that one's already more than halfway, so they would meet each other. So there's your piece that I milled on the mill, and that pretty much sums it up for that. We're still working on this, and that's probably what I'm going to do, is just go ahead and drill a series of holes every 1/4 inch, and I hope that that one falls right where it's at. If it don't, I'll have to compensate for that. Anyway, let me show you what I've got. I've got the drum lathe tore down. We've already got some pieces cleaned up. We're working on this piece right now. The old lady helped me last night. She was sitting there on a stool and just scraping away, and she got 2 pieces ready. And then once she got all the stuff down to where it looks like that, I just take it in the wire wheel over there on the grinder and wire wheel it. And this piece here is ready to mask in here, and go ahead and start painting it. Same way with this one. We've got this piece ready to paint, and this thing's going to look pretty good. So we're working on that. Alright, right here's what we got. We got everything tore down. And we got some greasy mess here, and this stuff right here is just needs to be cleaned up. Now I'm probably not going to be able to save these rubber grommets because they couldn't on the other one. So that sucks. You'd think that they would have threaded that to put in those things like this right here. I don't know why they didn't do that. So here's the first look, how nasty it is. And the gear oil didn't look too awful bad in it. It looked pretty decent. The gear looks good in there, and just needs cleaned up. Now I've got to make a gib for right here and retape this up. I couldn't get this oil or grease gun or grease fitting out. I got this one out, and I got that one back there out, but I can't get that one out. I'm gonna try one more time, but I don't want to damage it either. At least right now it works. If I damage it, I don't have one to put back in it. It looks like they have threads on them, but I'm not sure. It could just be a series of lines that was just a hair bigger than the hole, just so that it would press in. You got a lot of parts to clean up. I just wanted to do kind of a shop update to let you know what's cooking, what I'm working on. I put an ad up on Craigslist for restoring somebody's old machines like Atlas lathes and Grizzly and South Bends, whatever, milling machines, no matter what, just old machinery. And I had a guy send me a message and wants me to look at his Atlas 6-inch lathe. I've seen pictures of it, and I'll show them to you right here. So he's supposed to be bringing that by this week, and we're going to get a look at it and see what the plan is as to what he wants to do. Now, this will be the first Bison paying job, believe it or not. And I'm not going to count my chickens, because I've had too many people say, I want you to do something, and you never see them again. it's almost as if everybody I meet, they engage, but they never complete, if you can understand that. And I've gotten used to that, and that's not something that any one man should ever get used to, is somebody who doesn't keep their word. I am a firm believer in people should keep their word no matter what. If somebody says, I'm going to go jump off a bridge, as sad as I would be that that would be happening, I'm expecting them to jump off that bridge, because that's what they said they were going to do. You know, I hold people to their word at all costs, and it pisses me off to no end when people don't keep their word. You know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. I believe I'm right, because, you know, if you told my grandpa you was going to do something and you didn't do it, he'd bust your ass for you. And if you told his grandpa, you'd be in trouble. You know, the further back you go, the more honest people were in life. Today, people tell you what they think you want to hear. Once they get away from you, you're mud. Your name is mud. Yeah, I don't understand that today. This world has gone to hell in a handbag, and it bothers me. It bothers me very badly that people are that way today. So, anyway, I better quit rambling on. I just wanted to show you guys a few things I had in the fire for the Bison workshop. And now the visor is going to be a long time down the road, probably not till this summer, simply because it's just too cold outside for me to be able to work, and I need to be able to do it on the bench outside, because I don't want resin all in my shop on my benches. So we're going to wait until it's warm and a nice day, that way I can work with the truck and be a little more comfortable doing it. So the only thing we got going on right this minute is and I'm trying to get this drum lathe done before the Atlas get here, if it comes here. I'm not going to hold my breath, but just in case it does, I want this brake blade to be done. So we're going to work diligently on that today. And no, I'm not going to video it, because I've already done one and it's exactly the same process. I'll show it to you when I'm done. But, you know, I want to get it done. I don't want to have to mess with the camera. So I'm sorry. If I see something that needs to be showed, I'll show it. But other than that, I'm not going to video nothing. So, with all that said, you guys have a good one. Later. Oh, and Happy New Year.